Anybody have bigger than him?
I'm sitting in a physics or a biology class. Start off on a funny note. I always say, okay, day before the game, I actually sleep in a fridge, so that helps me throughout the tournament. But nobody really believes that. So, getting into a more serious answer, what I always felt was, either we are more worried in the past as to what has happened, or we are worried about the future. But the most important thing in life is the present, because past only teaches you what has happened. So you take the learnings out of the past, you try to implement it in the present, so that the future takes care of itself. But our life, the modern generation, it is more about the result. And we are so much engrossed into that, we forget the process that needs to be followed to get the result. So what I try to do is I try to keep it very simple. Okay, what are the things that are in my control? I shouldn't be worrying about stuff that's not really in my control. What's the point of worrying something that I can't do anything about? So I keep it very simple. I never think about the result. It's always about, okay, what is it that I can do to change the result or improve the result? Because that's what is in my control. And the moment you start doing it, your heart rate is more in your control, you're breathing properly, that's a scientific reason. And it just helps you not to be under constant pressure. And I felt throughout my cricketing career, it has really helped me. The leadership is very different, and how I relate to it is by keeping things very simple. I was just leading a team. So the resources that you have. I've always been a firm believer of, you give the power to an individual, but he needs to be accountable. He needs to be responsible. How do you earn the trust? A lot of people think, whether it's organization or in the society, you don't get respect because of your post. You get the respect, you have to earn the respect. A lot of people talk about, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that, but what really matters is the small things. How you are to, let's say in India, we're talking about India, how you are to the guard in your building and how you are to the owner of the building. It doesn't need to change. In the team environment, I've always tried to understand the individual. There are few ways to look at it. A lot of people say, okay, this is needed by an individual for the team, this is what he needs to do. I have another way of looking at it. I look at the talent that they have got. I give them responsibility where they'll be much more successful. And in the meantime, I look to groom them in the weakness that they have. So slowly, with right amount of exposure, they mature, and over the years, they become more and more confident about what they can really do in life. So that's something that has really helped me. 2007 was very different. We were much younger side. 2011, the challenges were very different. Till 2011, none of the home teams had ever won a World Cup. So one of the biggest pressure on us was, whether that stats can be deleted from history, saying, okay, it doesn't really matter what has happened in the past. And we were able to do that. Since 2011, if you see, there have been a lot of home teams that have actually won the big World Cups and the ICC tournament. So I feel a lot needs to come from players. There are a lot of contribution from the players' side. And by keeping things very simple, it really helps. I know a lot of, in cricket also, now you have these statisticians, who come in with a lot of stats, and, they just make it much more complex. You keep it simple. You do what you're supposed to do more often than not, you'll get the desired result. If not, you get the learnings out of it, you improve in life.
I think luck is very important, but the hard work is more important than luck. More you work hard, the luck will come on your side. I think it's if somebody say destiny also, you make your own destiny. It was somebody said, haath ki lakire, if I say in Hindi, haath ki lakire batayengi ki tumhara what is your future. The person who don't have a hand, he doesn't have a future or what? I think you make your own life. You work hard and then you pick the destiny. But don't leave it to anybody else. Believe in yourself. Self-belief is the biggest thing in sports. I'm not saying the luck doesn't matter, the circumstances at whichever place you are, it doesn't matter. But I think your self-belief is the most important thing in sports, in business, in anything. You have to believe in yourself. Once you believe in yourself, things come so easy.
Keeping things simple really helps. A lot of times you'll hear me speaking about simplicity, honesty, discipline, but these are the pillars, which really make yourself a strong character. And ultimately it's the observation. There's a famous saying, you learn from your mistakes, but in modern day world, I don't need to commit a mistake to learn. I can be sitting next to you commit a mistake, I can learn. So, keeping it that simple helps. It's the awareness that really matters. And in the long run, if you're aware of a lot of things, if the awareness is good, you end up having a lot of data in your head. Modern world is all about data. So if you are in difficult situations, more often than not, you learn, you keep moving. So tomorrow when you're in a similar situation, you don't repeat the same mistake. That doesn't mean I'm saying you commit a new mistake, but ultimately, we all honestly try at that point of time to see as to what is the best decision that can be made. A lot of good decisions or the best decisions are made in an AC room sitting after 2 hours of when it was really needed, but that hardly matters. So for me, again, simplicity, honesty, discipline, that helps.
The AC room people can talk. Isn't that? I mean, look at the commentator, they talk. Only they talk after they stop playing cricket. And they make the same mistake what the current cricketers are making. But that's the fun. When you are in AC room, you have a glass of wine, you can talk anything. And after the event, talking is much more easy. Now you ask me anything, I'm much more wiser. Because I know what to give answer. The beauty of that is before they make a mistake, then you make some point, and that is the most important people.
I was one of the youngest. When I was made the captain, I had no ambition of being the captain. Because coming from where I came from when it comes to cricket, if I ever thought that I'll play for India, that would have been a big dream. I never thought I'll play for India. I kept it very simple that you pick me for any team, I'll go and I'll play, I'll enjoy it. And whatever I do on the field, everything else will take care of itself. So it was a big thing for me. But what I did was I said, just take it as an added responsibility. They are seniors in the team. They've been playing for so long, they know what needs to be done. So actually it was quite easy for me. A lot of times it's more difficult to manage the youngsters because the senior players, they have their regime, they know what they're supposed to do, they know their body really well. So it was very easy. I told myself, an added responsibility has been given to me. I never considered myself as the captain. I said when I'm on the field, I'm the person who's supposed to take a lot of decisions. If at some point of time I feel I need some assistance, I'll go to the senior cricketers, I'll ask for help. As simple as that. Other than that, once I'm out of the field, I never thought about myself as the captain. And that really helped me because it helped me earn the respect of not only the juniors, but also the seniors who were part of the side.
Oh, he's senior than me, it's okay. I thought he's younger than me. I think it's so easy to go back. I think what he said very beautifully, live for the present, There's no need to go back. Every time you go back and you will be happy or unhappy. You just be a present, what you're doing. I think to me, this evening is more beautiful and more enjoyable than anything else. I want to live for the moment. And that gives me happiness. A lot of people say that what we did, it's gone. It's a history. Let people talk about that. Let me live for the moment. And I'm a person who genuinely like to live for the moment. And that's how the life is, as simple as that. I love him for that when he said the senior have their job to do. I mean, if the senior understand, they have the job. I mean, sometime. Did I say something wrong? No, sometimes you have to tell the seniors also. On the field, not off the field. Off the field, you have to behave what you are. But on the field, when he said they given an added responsibility, you have to behave like that. And it happened with me. Sometimes I have more senior cricketer, somebody in cricketing like Mohinder Ramanand, played in '69 when I was not even, I was playing marbles and I have to be captain. It's so difficult. When you have to captain your heroes, the most difficult thing. Because you want to say something on the ground and one side of your brain say, yeah, he's your hero. And one side say, you have to say it. It's so difficult. That's why in corporate world happen most of the time. If young person come, he throw all the oldies out of the company. Is that right or wrong? But when in sports you have to carry those seniors with you. And to me, Sunil Gavaskar, my hero. I mean, I've seen him, how he eats, the way he tied his buckle and everything in the ground. And then you become suddenly captain to a person who is 10 years. In cricket, 10 years is like your grandfather. In 10 years, because your life is only 10 to 12 years. And he was 10 years senior to me. I didn't know sometimes how to say. Every time I say anything on the ground, in the evening I said, you know, I'm Punjabi, pagal. Sorry if I said something which hurt you. In one of side of your brain is saying, yeah, he's my hero, and one of the side is saying, no, tell him, you have to do this job. And sometimes people don't understand, the people around you make it much more difficult because they like to send a negative story outside. If you have a group of people committed, I think then there is no problem about that. Enjoy the game. You know, sometimes don't make a people, just go and enjoy the game. What I say to you, why I'm saying this, when you watch the cricket, forget about who's winning, enjoy the game. We stop enjoying the game and we start bringing our liking and disliking in front. So I enjoyed tennis yesterday. We were all together there and we had a wonderful time. And we didn't want to come out.
Somehow I was the first person to say that, you know, we'll make the evening funny. But I've never got an opportunity to give witty answer, you know. Somehow it seems as if, you know, Paji is having a lot of fun. And I'm just keep on giving straight answers. So, again, you know, it will be a straightforward, serious answer, so I can't make you laugh. But I feel, I don't think we lack anything. But also if you see the expectation level, whenever an Indian cricket team enters the field, we only have one expectation level: we'll win the game. We'll win the bilateral series, we'll win the ICC tournaments, we'll win the World Cups. But in sport, what you need to realize is, and especially when it comes to a team sport, an individual sport, you can put in a lot of effort, you can you know, manage your regime, you can manage your fitness, and it will directly show in the result. But when it comes to a team sport, everybody's contribution is important. A lot of sport has a season. When it comes to cricket and the Indian cricket team, we don't have a season. You know, we play throughout the year. We are like one of the most expensive machines that are available in the market, but if you keep them idle, we are not making money. So that's the reason we keep on playing games. There's a lot of pressure on the body, there's a lot of pressure on the mind. And not to forget, it's not only the Indian cricket team that rules or, you know, dominates the world because we have a lot of money, we make a lot of money. Every country that comes to participate in an ICC tournament, they represent their country. And I feel as a cricketer, you know, that's the most important thing. If you're getting a chance to represent your country, and I always felt sports person, they have that added responsibility for a simple reason. You may be a big businessman, you may be doing hundreds of different things, but there's only a few occasions when you say, okay, I'm representing India. And whenever you're playing a sport, there's a big opportunity. Whether it's the Olympics, whether it's the World Cups. So I feel when other teams also come and they're competing, you have to be at your best on that particular day. And what we have seen in cricket, especially the shorter formats, is you have to be at your best on that particular day. A lot of things can happen. Cricket is a very variable sport. The toss becomes very crucial. All those variables are there. Not to forget, we have a DRS variable. I haven't seen God, but I feel the closest I've seen God is those two persons who are officiating in the game. Imagine, yesterday we were watching tennis. So imagine you have a review system where if the umpire has said out, the ball needs to be like half in to be called in. No, even a fraction of the ball is on the line, it's in. But in cricket, it's the other way around. If the umpire has given out, then all these parameters need to be fulfilled, then it's out or not out. So the variables in cricket is very high. I don't think we lack anything. We have been a team that has performed very consistently, in all the tournaments. Yes, we may not have won the World Cups or the ICC tournaments every now and then, but if you're doing well, if you're reaching the semi-finals, finals or quarter-finals, that itself says a lot about the team. From that point on, you have to be at your best. There may be a few mistakes committed on the field. It could be tactical errors, it could be, decision making, it could just be sheer luck, but all of those things matter.